And then going forward, I'm finding that there's something more that I need to focus on. You're going to gain weight. And that's what happened to me. What is up, fam? Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, click subscribe down below. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Today, I want to touch on a topic that actually I was looking up a lot in the last, few weeks, few months, and saw a little bit about it, but didn't see a ton covered. I figured if it's something that I've been looking for, then maybe it's something that you've been looking for too. And that is gaining weight while on the carnivore diet. So let me get into it. So what I was trying to figure out is, I hear so many people talk about, oh, I got onto the carnivore diet. I instantly just lost a ton of weight off the bat. I wasn't going into carnivore to lose weight by any means, but I wasn't really expecting to gain as much as I did. So you hear at the beginning of carnivore, a lot of people that have been eating tons and tons of carbohydrates will instantly drop water weight. That's because carbs tend to hold a lot of water in the body. So if you've been eating a lot of carbohydrates, you do have a lot of water kind of built up inside you. And when you get rid of those carbohydrates, you tend to lose a bunch of water weight. So you do see scale loss when you start carnivore sometimes. Most of that is the water weights. And you know what's funny with me? I was living off of carbs. Most of my life was carbs growing up. As I got a little bit older, maybe not quite as many as I had been in the past, but still tons of carbs in my diet. So when I started carnivore, I was expecting to drop some water weight. And I really focused on keeping myself hydrated, having lots of electrolytes so that I would remain hydrated. But I actually gained a few pounds and continued to gain a couple more as I went along, which I thought was really, really odd. So I looked into this a little bit further. For those of you that have started on the carnivore diet, you're probably hearing, eat until you're full, eat until you're satiated, don't count calories, eat what your body feels is right for you. And that's a great thing to do at the beginning because a lot of people, they start the carnivore diet because they're experiencing inflammation or maybe IBS or gut issues, digestion, fatigue, all those things that you're trying to get rid of. So I've heard so many people that have experienced such great results in those areas when they start the carnivore diet, which is great. So calories and weight is really not something you're wanting to be focusing on. You're wanting to focus on healing, feeling better, and don't worry about the calories. The amount of time that it takes for you to heal your gut issues or your sinus issues or your metabolism or your energy or any of that kind of stuff, it's going to be different for everybody. Somebody who's been heavy into the, fast foods or the unnutritious, unhealthy foods, or has been super, super carb heavy, or any sort of issues that have caused you to come to the carnivore diet. If you're suffering from any sort of ailments that you feel you need to heal from, you may need a really long time where you're just focusing on getting better. And really don't look at the scale, don't look at weight. And another thing is keto flu seems to be really, really common when going onto the carnivore diets. You feel, sometimes tired or lethargic or really groggy or really just out of it. And that's called, keto flu. So that's another reason why they say don't really count your calories, don't really track too much what you're eating, maybe eat a little bit more than you're used to, just so your body can adapt and you don't get those symptoms of keto flu. So that's a great way to approach things in the beginning. And then going forward, I'm finding that there's something more that I need to focus on. So I'm going to really, really oversimplify this. And again, not a doctor, not providing medical advice, but ultimately your weight gain or your weight loss is going to come down to calories in versus calories out. And yes, there's so much more to it. For anybody that has, crash dieted, or you hear about people that are super low calorie, your body is smart enough to adjust. So if you just end up slashing your calories and not eating anything, your metabolism is going to slow down so that your body only needs to expend the amount of calories you're bringing in. So ultimately, crash diets and slashing calories is not a good solution because your body's going to adapt. You're going to get what's called metabolic adaptation. Your body's basically just going to slow itself down so it doesn't need as many calories. And then where do you go from there? You're already low cal. You can't drop anymore. It's just a vicious cycle. So slashing calories is not a good way to do things. So something that us fitness competitors like to do to sort of like keep your body guessing and not get into that metabolic adaptation. You're going to go into a little bit of a calorie surplus. So eating a little bit more than your body needs, that's going to rev up your metabolism, get things moving. And then you can, go into a little bit of a calorie deficit. So eating a little bit less. You'll lose a little bit of muscle as well. That's why you don't want to slash your calories too hard, because then you risk going catabolic, which is basically losing muscle. You don't want to lose muscle. The muscle is what gives you the nice shape and the nice definition. You hear the word toned, and that's basically toned is muscle. So when you go too far into a calorie deficit, you tend to lose, yes, you'll lose some fat, but you'll also lose some muscle. That's when you get kind of skinny fat, and that's not what we're looking for. So a little bit of a surplus, a little bit of a deficit, a little bit of a surplus, a little bit of a deficit. Keep the body guessing, and then you're not getting too far into metabolic adaptation. Your body's still healthy. You're still changing it up a little bit. Energy levels will stay high. So that's what I'm trying to do right now is I am, cutting my calories a little bit now that I've put on my muscle. I've gone into that surplus for such a long time now that it's ready for me to start, paring down and seeing what I got underneath here. My calories in were way higher than I was used to. As you may know, and I mentioned in one of my previous videos, a gram of protein has 4 calories in it. A gram of carbohydrates has 4 calories in it. A gram of fat has 9 calories in it. So when you're eating sort of the same volume of food, but more fat focused versus carb focused, just by nature of the number of calories in a gram of fat, you're most likely going to be eating more calories. So ultimately, if you're taking in more calories than you're used to and you're expending the same amount of output calories, you're going to gain weight. And that's what happened to me. So I was feeling better. I was feeling rested. I think my skin got better. My sinuses cleared up. My energy levels were high, but I was gaining weight. I can even still see it in my face. My face is rounder. And that kind of, I'm not loving it. So I have gone to a nutrition plan now where I am tracking my calories, tracking my macros, tracking my grams of protein, fats, and carbs so I can keep on track with how much I'm bringing in, and implementing a little bit of berries into my diet now, sort of around my workouts to see if that gives me that little bit of oomph I was looking for before. So stay tuned for how my new nutrition plan comes along and whether my face leans out a little bit. I will let you know how that goes and how things come along, how I'm feeling at the gym. I'm actually heading there right now. So I do have a new training program as well. I'm about a week into that. All my muscles are sore right now. So I'll keep you guys looped in on how everything goes. Please shoot me a note in the comments below if there's anything else you want me to touch on or any updates you want me to give you. But hopefully you'll keep following along to see how my journey progresses. I'm still learning all of this as I go. I'm still trying to figure everything out. So I'm going to make little minor adjustments here and there, but I hope you keep following along. And please subscribe. I would love if you guys would subscribe to my channel. I love having you follow along with me. So thanks so much for watching, and I'm all done with the glucose monitor, so I can wave my arms around now and not have to worry about you seeing my monitor. Bye, guys.